A Good Samaritan tries to save a teen's life after a driver hits him and takes off. Then, tragedy of his own. Tonight we've learned Douglas Stansell had a heart attack shortly after trying to help that 15-year-old. Our Brett Bagansky shows you why his family feels stress and trauma led to his death.
It's just horrible how it affected everybody. It's awful.
Cara Dubé works near the intersection of Clough Pike and 8 Mile in Anderson Township, the same area where 15-year-old Eli Jones, a sophomore at Anderson High School, died after he got hit by a car and the driver took off.
My mouth dropped open because I've never, even in Anderson, I've never really seen anything like that happen.
A traumatic scene as Jones was not moving in the road and 56-year-old Douglas Stansell was driving and had to swerve to avoid hitting him.
When did this all get to a point where you knew that something was wrong with your father?
We spoke to his son John Monday, who was with his father as they were on their way to pick up his sisters from work.
So your father was driving, you were you in the passenger then?
John said his father was always the kind of man who would go out of his way to help others, even at his own expense. But he said something was wrong, especially after his father was complaining about chest pains after they called 911 and spoke to police. Once they were done, they kept driving and arrived at Taco Bell's parking lot. That's where John said his father was having trouble breathing and then fell into him.
And at that point, was he still breathing? Was he responding?
John said his father was gasping for air. His brother in the back seat called 911 and they pulled him out of the truck and started CPR. John said at this point he wasn't breathing and didn't have a pulse. Douglas Stansell died Monday afternoon after suffering a heart attack. The family wants you to remember him for being a kind, selfless man who would put others before himself, even if it meant risking his own life. Brett Bagansky, WCPO 9 News.
Police are still looking for that hit-and-run driver who killed Eli. Officers are looking for a Honda Civic that may be missing the front right fender well.